Hi, I'm Julie Kirshner. I'm the Executive Director of FAIR. Today I'm joined by FAIR's President Dan Stein.
Hi, yes, and first of all, we'd like to wish you a very happy new year and hope you've had a wonderful holiday season full of love with family and friends.
We're also here today to update you on the progress we've been making on our fight for border security. As you know, FAIR stands on the front lines of border security and immigration. We walk the halls of Congress every single day, but we can't do this fight without you. We need your help to make sure that anything that moves through Congress is actually real immigration policy changes that will end this border crisis. We can't have half policy measures that sound great and are used on the campaign trail but don't get the job done. So let's recap real quickly where we left our friends on Capitol Hill. So before Christmas, for weeks, Senate negotiators were behind closed doors talking and debating what they should do, how they should change immigration policy to end this crisis at the border. And the reason they were doing that, the reason they were in negotiations, is that House and Senate Republicans have both said that they want real immigration policy changes in return for moving President Biden's foreign aid package forward. So that package includes about $110 billion, maybe a little more, for funding for Israel, for Ukraine, for Taiwan, and it has funding for border security. But unfortunately, that money is all going to process and release more illegal aliens. It does nothing to stop the crisis. It's just status quo. So House and Senate Republicans, fortunately, have said this won't cut it, and they're at the negotiating table, and we need your help to make sure that whatever comes out of these negotiations is the strongest possible language we can get. Again, we cannot support half measures. We need something that really gets the job done.
FAIR's mission is to fight for you, the American people, your community, your family, your friends. We're your voice here in Washington and all around the country to try to make sure that when there are opportunities presenting themselves in Congress, we present the strongest and best possible case at the right time to the right people. And that brings us to this critical moment in time. The Secure the Border Act, H.R. 2. These are the provisions that were passed by the House of Representatives. They represent some of the very strongest immigration provisions that have passed any of House and Congress. This is a critical moment in time during these negotiations. The Biden administration does not want to put in anything that might actually make a difference. So your support is going to be critical. We've had about 8 million illegal aliens come across this border during the Biden administration. They do not seem to want to change those policies. We've seen untold numbers of unvetted criminals, people from terrorist countries, sponsoring countries, improper vetting procedures, and we're facing a situation now where taxpayers are paying, we estimate, at least $151 billion in costs and communities. Places like New York City are paying more to house and feed, with food apparently they throw out, illegal aliens, paying more than they are for policing, for firefighters, and for community safety at large. And yet there's no end in sight unless we can get in some changes in the law during this critical moment. So the people who are coming into the border are being paroled in by the administration. Most of them will never be able to make asylum claims. They're not successful. 90% are not successful. Frankly, 40% don't even bother to make a claim. This is an outrage against the credulity of the average American to see this coming across our border. But unless we take advantage of this critical moment, it will continue all the way through 2024. So Julie will tell us what we have to do.
So that's right. We need you to call your members of Congress, and you have to demand that they support real immigration policy changes in President Biden's foreign policy package. You've got to reach out to your members of Congress, and you got to tell them that they should not move forward with that foreign aid package unless H.R. 2 is included in it. H.R. 2 has been vetted at length. We have to make sure that the language is strong. It can't, like I said before, it can't be half measures, it can't be sound bites, it can't be bullet points, it can't be a handshake deal. It has to be something that really gets the job done.
Right, so these provisions, which would end catch and release, would curtail asylum abuse, would diminish radically the parole authority that's now being rampantly abused. The stars are aligned. This is a very important opportunity, and we need Republicans to stand firm and stand united at this critical moment. We see some fracturing on the Democrat side. Your support is so important to hold not only moderate Republicans, but even some of the conservative Democrats, but certainly the Republicans have to hold firm.
And Dan's absolutely right. There are some Democrats who are talking about supporting these policy changes. So, you've got to reach out to every single member of Congress. Don't give up on anyone just because of the letter that comes after their name. You really need to call and turn up the heat. So let me recap what we'd like you to do, how you can make a difference. You need to call your member of Congress now. So you have a representative in the House, you have 2 senators. Call them all. Tell them you want real policy changes like the ones in H.R. 2 to be included in any foreign aid package. Better yet, if you can, find out what your member of Congress is doing, your senators, your representative. Find out if they have meetings in your district. Go, take a couple friends, take a couple members of your family, and go ask questions. Go turn up the heat a little bit and tell them that you're serious. You mean business. The more they hear from you, the better. So you want to tell them again that you want real policy changes, not more funding just to maintain the status quo, no window dressing, no sound bites, real policy changes. And these policy changes, like Dan talked about, they need to stop releasing people at the border. Detention beds are going unused. They're releasing people en masse. They could remove them expeditiously under the current law, but this administration is not doing that. So they need to stop the releases. And as Dan said, they need to stop the abuse of parole and asylum. We know that this is a huge draw. It's a huge magnet for illegal immigration. So that's the roadmap we want you to follow. Thank you for being a member of FAIR. Thank you for supporting us. We value you. We couldn't do this fight without you.